What's going on, you rascals? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Much appreciated. If you guys could subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Tobin and Leroy, available for you weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. live. You guys can watch us on demand there as well. And we got it all happening for us, baby. Very, very excited. Dolphins camp is officially underway. First day in the books. And it is good to have football back. It is good to have Tua Tagovailoa taking snaps. Tua finding Jalen Waddle, little Bombski. Jalen Waddle turn around. I'm telling you right now, dude, this Jalen Waddle, crazy enough, not Dolphin fans, but people sleeping. They're sleeping on the Dolphins, sleeping on Jalen Waddle. Because this guy right now, you saw those routes this year in the offseason? Crisp, dude. And so I'm watching this, and you're seeing what he's able to do. And I know all the deservedly so, the attention goes to Cheetah, possibly 2,000 yards. He's throwing that out there. Big-time aspirations from Tyreek Hill. But Jalen Waddle, dude, year 3, this is a prime ski year. Right in there. And that was an awesome catch. The Dolphins putting that out. That was like football erotica, putting that on social media today. Goosies. But probably the biggest revelation today from Dolphins camp, finally got to see the Tua ink. The arm sleeve tattoo is now out in full force. We got to see what he's got going on there. And this is what old number 1 had to say about the ink that he has and what it means to him.
It's something that falls off a piece that I had earlier this year. It's a piece that represents my first child. There's a lot of things that go on behind it, a lot of cultural significance, a lot of things that has to do with protection, guidance, sort of things like that we believe in the Samoan culture. So that's what it is. And then we implemented this piece that I already had with this. So it's almost like when you pray, you take it off, it kind of has the sense of you're taking part of the tribal out of this side.
Pretty awesome. Like, it looks sweet as hell. That thing's going to look fantastic all season long, but this was the big unveiling. You saw he had the long sleeves the entire time. Right? Shh. Hush. Keeping it there. But Tua looks good, dude. And I'd say at camp today, I think the biggest probably news and notes that you had from it was Armstead. We found out that he had a procedure done, so he started the training camp on the PUP list, which, look, it's a little bit of a concern just because Armstead is always banged up and always has things that he's dealing with, but they don't sound overly concerned with anything that he's dealing with. So I think that's good news. And then Tyreek Hill spoke a little bit about the marina incident, which all parties apparently are good with what has happened, whatever has gone. They're all looking to put it behind him. But he did say, it was a boneheaded decision that he can't do that he has to be, in smarter positions for himself, which I would agree with. I think Tyreek Hill, you're at the point in your life, you're on this new team, very recognizable, obviously, not the cleanest past, so you want to put all of that stuff behind him. You want to, put yourself in as a pillar in the community. You don't want to be getting into altercations at a friggin' marina over fishing off of somebody's boat, or your friends fishing off of somebody's boat. And, it sounds like he's not worried about a suspension, which is good because, Dolphins certainly can't afford to not have Tyreek Hill out there. You do need the cheetah. He is one of the things that makes your team special. And, you just think in a situation like that, you're amongst friends. I believe it was Wolf with his agent too. Like, I don't know what happened. Obviously, nobody ever wants to get disrespected in this regard, but you're also like, you got to realize, of your fame and your stature in that situation is worth any even minor altercation for the headlines and the headaches that it causes. So hopefully that does get all put behind it. I would say the only thing the Dolphins and Tyreek really have to worry about is, the video getting out and it looking really bad. But, the fact that it does all seem very resolved, I would say, is not too big a concern. It does feel like a lot of that stuff has been settled going into training camp. I will say, Tua, which is not unlike him, was goose-inducing. I mean, the guy was given the goosies out and was asked about what he thinks this offense can be. And man, listen to what QB1 has to say.
God willing, we all can stay healthy. I think this offense can do crazy things. I think we can be dangerous. I think we have the potential to do something really, really special for the city of Miami, to do something special for the organization, to do something special for, guys on our team that don't really have that opportunity. But it's almost like we all have some sort of influence in others' lives when we play together and when we win and when we do something special. Whether you're a 2 or 3, whether you're a practice squad player, guys want people that win. And so I would say that's the expectation, that's the hope, and that's what we're looking for.
And I think that message of like the idea that it can be something special, I think the Dolphins have to realize, and I think especially Tua has to probably realize after seeing how on fire the entire city has been, because we've really been on a sports run down here, unlike I think any of us have seen. And really starting with the Dolphins, because the Dolphins season was exciting last year. The offense was exciting outside of the unfortunate, injuries that Tua had to deal with. But like his offense last year, from there to the Final Four, to the Heat, to the Panthers, to Messi coming down here, Messi scoring goals left and right. All of that stuff is just on a crazy, crazy sports bender right now. But this Dolphins team, it has been decades since they've won a Super Bowl. It has been 23 years since they've won a playoff game. The thirst in this city for this team to be really successful. I'm not talking a little successful. I'm not talking about nice stories, baby steps. I'm talking about really legitimately successful. It has been a drought. And the fans are dying for this team to be great. And I think he knows that. And having a sense of that, it was Goosey's galore. Because I think that you know that you've been through the adversity in your career, the physical stuff, the mental stuff, the coaching issues, to last year, to now. All right, they've picked up your fifth-year option. This is your team. You see all the money that quarterbacks are getting out there. Everything's kind of into his hands right now. And people have raved about his leadership and what he can bring to the table from that regard. I think it's pretty awesome that Tua has a sense of that. A sense of that history, a sense of what it would mean for this team to do some real significant playoff winning and what this team is capable of. I mean, Mike McDaniel said it today. He says, he was asked about the matches between Waddle and Hill and Ramsey and X. And he goes, you see what those guys all make? Of course I'm interested. Everybody knows, like, that is, you see what this team has on both sides of the ball. Everything that's been invested in both sides of the ball. Hell, there's damn Saquon Barkley trade rumors out there. True or untrue. The team, even if it's not, even if it was just a pick up the phone and check in on it, they are trying to go all in every which way that they can. And for Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, the players, Stephen Ross, everything feels set up for them to have success. The drama has been as little as it can be in recent Dolphin years, where there's been coaches getting fired, tampering charges, QB controversies, all these things that are usually off the field. They're going to try and tank. All that stuff's now behind them. This is supposed to be your big swing and your big chance to go make a run. The roster's stacked, top 100 guys left and right, and I think it's pretty cool that Tua has a sense of it. Now, Tua did say one more thing that I thought was pretty newsworthy. This show, Quarterback on Netflix, and people like it. Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota. Kirk Cousins has made a lot of fans out of this. And he was asked today about the idea of doing the show for Netflix, season 2. I believe it's produced by Peyton Manning, and Tua not ready to let the cameras see his personal life.
Yeah. I have seen it. there have been talks about going on it, but I feel like right now it just isn't the right time. But even too, because I'm a very personal guy, I felt like the series was a lot more personal. It was a lot more about their personal lives than it was more so what they did on the football field. And for me, that's not something that I like to do, especially to show my kid on national television, or people seeing what I do. It would just be too hard to turn off. After a loss is tough as it is. I don't know how that would go, trying to talk about a loss in my car. So
the dashboard confessional, like that GoPro on any reality show everybody's familiar with it. You've all seen reality shows and see it. There is something about that. I don't know if people, I do a lot of driving, right? I drive, there is something about the reflections that you can have after a day of work. Could probably almost be too, if I had a Tobes dashboard where you were just into my inner, I feel like I could be too personal with that too. Although we did say the timing is not right. That was not a complete rule out to me that maybe quarterback in the future, but I get it with Tua. This is a huge year for him. Probably an extension on the line after this season. Everybody's worried about his health. I would like to get some behind the scenes on the jiu-jitsu, though. That would be very, very exciting. I'm not a person who doesn't like reality TV around their team. If you told me this year the Dolphins were on Hard Knocks, I would love it. If you told me there was a Tua show, I would do everything I could to analyze every piece of that content. I love that stuff, and I think everybody else does too. People say they don't like their team on Hard Knocks. I feel like it's a dishonest thing. What team isn't excited to see? What fan is excited to see more content around their team? Doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. But either way, not the time yet for Tua. What it is the time for is football, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing down here in South Florida. Let's continue this high. Let's continue this run. And Tua seems like he's got a good sense of it. It's Gucci's galore, dude.